Welcome to your Monday. I'm Jay Cleveland Payne, aka your Mr. Monday, and this quick bit of motivation and inspiration was originally published on July the 5th, 2021. The original message goes as follows. It is much easier to come up with a new message to deliver to an audience you already have than to find a new audience for a message you believe is perfectly crafted and accurate. So, going deeper into this message, this is something that I have dealt with over and over again, as I always feel some weird need to create some brand new podcast or some brand new newsletter or some brand new blog post sort of topic going forward to try to reach more people, because that's what people in my venue do. If you don't think you're reaching enough people, then you worry that you don't have the right audience. And so you have to find another audience, and to find another audience, you got to do something that's slightly different from what you have right now. But here's something that I am often reminded of, even if I tend to forget and try to create new ideas, new podcasts, and new newsletter ideas. It's that the audience I have right now is the best audience I have to work with. The people who are right there in front of me in the auditorium are already there. So if I want to get deeper with those people, they've already committed to a connection with me. And they've listened to enough of my messages to realize there's something there, even if they're not quite understanding what it is. So it's always better to talk to the folks that you already have than to give up on them completely and then start finding a new batch of people to talk to. And in the process, trying to find that perfect message to present to them before you actually have them to present it to. There are plenty of people that I work with who are working to, as I say in my marketing, master their messages, come up with the best message to deliver to their groups. And the harder part about the master your message process is a lot of people are trying to master their message before they've actually figured out who they're messaging to, who they actually want to talk to, who they want to deliver these messages to. And the most important thing about the process, they're twofold. It's having a message to give and finding the people to give it to. And the biggest issue that sometimes people have problems coming to terms with is having a message to give. It basically points to who the message goes to. If you are a person who has gone through some sort of struggle and your message is you can get past that struggle, your group, your audience are people who are dealing with that struggle, have dealt with that struggle and need support, or are moments away from stepping into an issue that will give them that struggle. You know who you need to talk to, and that's who you need to find. And if you have those people around you, you start talking to those people right now, even before your message is perfect, as opposed to a person who just is a blank state of ideas and just wants to speak, just wants to talk, just wants to be in front of a group of whatever. And so they have to come up with a good message that they think will bring people in, and then find those people. If you're an actor, this is what you're doing. You want to play roles, and certain roles may fall into line. But if someone offers you a script for this role that just sounds great, you'll take it. It doesn't have to be something that's you've even thought you'd be down for. You just have to see it as a juicy role and see yourself as saying those words and being that character. And then you find people to fund the movie and put the movie in front of. Although it always helps if you have some sort of audience to look for and some sort of example to go with. If you are a messenger of any type, even if you believe you are losing your audience, the best way to redefine what you have to say and refocus your message is with the people you already have. Don't alienate those people because they're not listening to you as well as they should. At least in your head. Talk to them. Tell them why the message is changing. Tell them why you, the messenger, may be changing. Tell them why them, M's, as the people receive the message, may not be exactly the same as they were when the journey started. Don't just cut them off, start writing new messages, and then hope that there's somebody around to listen to you when you're ready to give that perfect message. In fact, there usually is nothing close to a perfect message except for in the hearts and minds of the people who take it in at the right time to tell them the right thing they need to hear to make that next step. Don't fight it. Yes, your message may be getting stale and needs to change. Yes, your audience may be getting restless and may need to prune itself out or change itself up. But no, they're not stale. They're not old. They're not obsolete. They are a part of who you are and your messaging and who you're speaking to. So if you find that your new messages are new and don't sound like the same messages, try giving them to the same audience you've had before and let them tell you how they will take it. Don't just assume they won't take it and run away. Let them tell you, and maybe you need to adjust your new message slightly to stay with your old audience, because it's easier to maintain the ones you have, even if you're doing things a little bit differently, than to just give them up and try to find new ones out of whole cloth. Trust me, even as I continue to make new podcasts for newer audiences and new ideas, it's not about alienating the old people. The old podcast audiences always remain the same. And I always offer up the chance to take in the new idea to the old audiences, and some of them take on those ideas and create another new audience. But I can't just make, and I've learned that because of energy issues, I can't just go off and make brand new projects and eliminate all the old projects from the old audiences because they were there with me from the get-go. They deserve to be maintained as well as possible. And I do that, which is why I produce so much audio and so much content to the point that it's a bit tiring, but it is something that you have to stick around with. You got to keep up with. So don't do like I do and keep creating new ideas for new audiences all the time. That's a do as I say, not as I do. Focus on the audience that you have. Focus on the audience that you already have gathered. Feel free to change up how you're doing your messaging, how you're doing your speaking now. But I don't think you have to just basically kill off the old audience every time you have a new idea and start fresh, because that's going to basically kill your messaging more often than not. It is much easier to come up with a new message to deliver to an audience you already have than to find a new audience for a message you believe is perfectly crafted and accurate. This original message was published on July the 5th, 2021 from Welcome to Your Monday. For more messages like this one, plus books, merchandise, and other information related to this project, visit the website, welcometoyourmonday.com.